Hi, I'm Krista. Nice to meet you.
I'm Jaden. Nice to meet you too.
Please take a seat. Okay, so just before we get started, I would just like to review a couple of things with you that have to do with confidentiality. I would just like to reassure you that everything you say to me is completely confidential, other than a couple of restrictions. So I'm just going to get the form. After I talk about it, I'm going to get you to sign it, and then we can get started, okay?
Yeah.
Okay. So there are 5 specific reasons as to why I would have to breach confidentiality. The first one being if you signed a form saying that you're okay with me sharing the information to somebody. The second would be if there was a subpoena, which is if the courts, if the court system legally needed the information I've been documenting. That would be another scenario. The third is if I'm suspecting risk of harm to you or to somebody else. The other ones would be if I'm suspecting child abuse, neglect to a child, things of that sort. And lastly, if this is a new one, but lastly, if there are reports of you being sexually harassed or violated by a health professional, that would be like a doctor, psychiatrist, dentist, anything of that sort, I would have to take matters into my own hands when it comes to that. Okay. Okay. So I'm just going to get you to quickly review it, and then before you sign it. You understand everything that's on there?
Yes.
You completely get it? Okay, perfect. Let's get you to sign that there for me, Jayden. Perfect, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay. So, what brings you here today?
Lately I've been feeling really stressed out about school and at home.
Okay, so I'm hearing is that lots of stress in your life right now from different parts of the spectrum. So since you mentioned at school first, we'll start with that, okay? So what about school, or where in school are you feeling stressed?
In all my classes actually.
Okay.
One specific would be careers class.
Careers class.
Civics and careers. And that is where I have to figure out what kind of job I want to do, who I want to be.
Okay.
And I just feel like I'm being rushed because me being grade 11, I don't know what I want to be quite yet.
Yeah.
So I feel like they're rushing me, and that's giving me stress because I feel like I have to choose what I want to be right now.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that this course is kind of pressuring you into decide right here, right now.
Yeah.
When you're only in grade 11, right? So it's a lot of stress that would be caused from that. Any other areas of school that are...
Also homework. I feel very stressed out about that.
Okay. What about the homework? Too much or not understanding?
Too much, because I feel like they assign me homework to do at home and it's just overwhelming because it's so much, and I've already done so much at school, then I have to come home and do it. And
okay.
It's just very stressful.
Stressful, yeah.
And some of the stuff I don't get.
Okay, so are there certain situations, if you're not understanding something, you can go and speak to teachers about it, or do you kind of feel like they kind of expect you to...
Kind of expect me to.
Yeah. Okay, is there anything else that has to do with school?
My friends, I feel very peer pressured into always wanting to go out because they always want to go out and drink and do drugs, and I don't want to do that every single weekend. But I feel pressured into me doing that so I don't get left out of the group.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that you're struggling with wanting to do what you really want to do, or wanting to follow what your friends are doing so you don't get left out.
Yeah.
Okay.
And everyone is also, most of my friends are into doing drugs too at parties, and I feel like I feel peer pressured into doing that as well. Meanwhile, I know I won't because I don't want to. But I just feel like if I don't do those kind of things with my friends, they'll eventually just forget about me and not invite me places because that's what they want to do.
Okay, so when it comes to the drugs, not necessarily the drinking, when it comes to the drugs, what you're saying is that you say no.
Yeah.
You say no to that, but it's getting to a point where you feel like they're starting to not invite you places. Is that what I'm hearing? Okay, yeah, that must be rough. Feeling torn between a decision you want to follow or a decision you're kind of being forced to.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay, so what I'm hearing when it comes to school, stress is caused by lots of pressure, lots of peer pressure. Um,
It's also giving me anxiety as well.
oh, so the stress is causing anxiety?
Yeah.
Okay, so where do you feel like the anxiety is being brought up in your life?
Well, when I'm pressured into doing something, that I
Yeah.
can feel my anxiety rise from that, and I can also feel it before I go to bed.
Okay.
I feel like I can't breathe,
Mm-hmm.
and feel like someone's sitting on my chest, and I have a feeling that I'm gonna vomit before I go to bed.
I completely, yeah. I mean, as it goes for the peer pressure, when you're saying no, you're getting the anxiety. It's very good that you're standing up for yourself and you're saying no, and you're not always following under pressure. But anxiety, yeah. So, is there anything that, um, anything home wise? As you did mention home, correct? That it was
Yes.
causing some problems.
I feel like because my mom has been drinking, not
Okay.
overly drinking, but she does, and when she does drink, she tends to get, I guess, angry in a way, but she doesn't harm me myself or
Okay.
anyone else in the household. But I feel like I need to be there and help her and talk her out of everything that she's doing to stop drinking and stuff. And that also gives me stress because I feel like I have to be the one taking care of her when it should be vice versa.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that your mother has a little bit of a drinking problem and it's starting to affect you in a negative way.
Yeah.
Okay. Are there anybody else in your household that this affects? Just so I can get a little bit of background information.
My sister and my mom's fiance, Rob.
Okay, so where do they play into this type of situation? Like, are they around? Do they go through the same stress as you?
Yeah, they do. Because mom's fiance, he's always with her, and he's consistently telling her that she needs to stop drinking and she needs to slow it down.
Yeah.
And doesn't drink every single night because he doesn't like it, and he feels that she should stop.
Yeah. When it comes to that, do you feel like she's doing any damage to herself, or it's just a little bit of carelessness?
Carelessness, yeah.
Carelessness,
a little bit of both, I guess.
Okay, so what I'm hearing when it comes to home life, your main source of stress is coming from your mom and how she's been drinking. And I'm sorry, you said her fiance's name's Rob?
Yeah.
Okay, so in Rob, he's being affected by it, and you mentioned you had a sister?
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to maybe talk about her a little bit, how is it affecting?
It's affecting her because she feels like she needs to play the mom role in their family because she, like, my mom's not, I guess, living up to expectations. And so she feels like she should be the mom role and should take care of me the proper way, I guess you'd say that. Mm-hmm. And that's also causing stress on her because she feels, because she's also 22 and she should be living her own life.
Yeah.
And she's trying to help with it, with me.
Okay.
And also for Rob, I also feel like he's also getting very stressed out because when my mom gets angry at him, he feels like that he should start drinking so he doesn't, like, he just shouldn't care about it because he should just let it go, and he also resorts to that too.
Okay, so almost like the domino effect. One person falls over and she's kind of taking down other people. Just wondering, have you expressed this to anybody in your family, or is this something that you're just learning to talk about now?
Learning to talk about it now because I usually keep things to myself.
Yeah.
So it's really hard for me to talk to people.
Yeah.
But I'm starting to open up to my sister.
Okay, well that's good. At least you have somebody at home other than me who you're more than welcome to come back and talk to me anytime. So it's good that you do have somebody you feel safe with at home. That's good. So what I would love to do is I would love to help you figure out ways to cope with all the stress that's going on. So from what I'm hearing, there's multiple different areas where the stress is coming from, which is causing anxiety. So we would like to maybe lower that down a bit and potentially eliminate it. So what we'll do is we'll start off with the most important, like the most prominent thing to you. So what do you think is the biggest factor when it comes to your stress?
My friends.
Your friends. Okay, so we'll start with your friends then. When it comes to them, have you approached the situation in any way? Have you expressed your feelings or?
To my one friend, yes, I have, and I also told her that I should start making new friends as well as keeping my old friends, but having new friends. So when they go out, I don't feel like I have to go with them. I can go with my other friends.
Okay, so you're starting to solve it on your own, which is great. You're coming up with different ways to work around what's happening. So that's awesome. Now, when you were talking to your one friend about this, how did he or she take it?
She took it, well, she kind of felt, I guess she was oblivious to it.
Okay, so she wasn't really noticing it.
Yeah, until I told her, and then she ended up thinking, wow, okay, now I understand why you're not coming to places and stuff.
Okay, so maybe once you explained it to her, she kind of sat back and was like,
yeah.
Well, bigger picture. Jaden's really being affected by all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Now, has it only been the one friend that you said you've talked to?
Yeah.
Okay.
She's my closest friend.
Oh, so your best friend out of the group? Well, that's good that she's super understanding about it, and it's awesome for you to stand up for yourself once again and be able to express how you're feeling so that you're not staying with it constantly on your own. So you said that you have intention to make a new set of friends that you can hang out with as well. Have you made any progress with that, or is that anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, I've made some progress. I have a few friends in my math class, and I talk to them. I text them every once in a while, but I haven't really got to hang out with them.
Yeah, okay. Baby steps though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's good. You're texting. I feel like that's the new thing nowadays. Instead of hanging out, it's all about texting anyways. But that's good. So you're definitely making some progress on your own. Do you feel confident with the progress you've been making?
Somewhat, yeah.
Yeah? Well, that's great. So it seems like I said, that you've been making some very good progress on your own in that department. So we'll move on to the second thing that's sticking out. So what do you think is the second most prominent area that's causing you the stress?
My mom.
Your mom?
Yeah.
Okay, so back to her, yeah, it seems like it'd be a very hard situation to be in. You're struggling with all this stuff with your own life, and you're having to come home and deal with all of this. So when you come home to a situation that you're uncomfortable in, what do you normally do?
Go to my room.
You go to your room to run away?
Yeah. Close my door.
Yeah.
Watch TV.
You have to watch your TV and do your own thing. Well, that's good. It's unfortunate that you're still having to be in the atmosphere of everything that's going on, though. Do you think there's a way you can approach the situation? Is there anything that you're thinking about that you feel like would fix certain things, or are you kind of just stuck in this little situation where you don't know what you want to do or what you can do?
I don't know what I can do. Like, I've tried talking to her, but she feels like she's not doing anything wrong because she doesn't want to admit it to herself.
Yeah.
And I guess the first step is admitting it to yourself and then work from it. But other than that, I don't know what to do because I feel like I can't help it.
Yeah.
Help her.
So it seems to me that you have a fairly good grasp on what's going on. You're not, like you said to your friend, not oblivious to the situations. You're in control to an extreme of how you're feeling because you understand where it's all coming from. And that's really good in the process of moving forward and figuring out ways to cope with things better. Because there are certain situations where we may not be able to change, but you always have the opportunity to sit there and change how you take things on and how you feel and how you persevere through things.
Yeah.
So, have you talked to Rob, was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so have you talked to Rob about anything that has to do with your mother or your sister? So I didn't catch her name.
Krista.
Okay, so Krista. So, have you talked to Rob or Krista about anything?
I've talked to Krista about some stuff, more towards myself than her,
Okay.
but like towards my mom. But I don't know. I feel like shouldn't. I feel like it shouldn't be my problem because
Yeah.
it's what has to do with her. So I feel like I shouldn't be stuck in the middle, but I also feel like I should because I want to help her. And
Yeah, so what I'm hearing is that you're really struggling with the involvement of being in the situation. You're aware that you should be able to not be so attached to the situation, but at the same time, it's hard. It's your family. So maybe we can talk about a couple of things that will help you distance yourself emotionally from the situation. Do you have any activities or any type of things that bring you joy or make you happy? Anything that you like to stick to?
I like reading.
Okay.
I like playing sports, like soccer, volleyball, and basketball.
Yeah.
And hanging out with my friends when they're not doing the party
Yeah.
stuff.
When they're doing things that you enjoy.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. At least you have some of those kind of getaway activities to do. So when you said that you lock yourself in your room, do you read books? Like, do you try and do things like that to take your mind off of what's going on in the house?
I usually also listen to music too because that helps me.
Yeah,
more
music.
Upbeat music helps me get to my like a better mood. And well, it's kind of hard to read because I'm hearing everything and I have to concentrate. So I'm mostly that, or I go work out or something.
Okay, so you music, reading, things that calm you down.
Yeah.
But then you also like the working out. Why do you feel like working out works for you when it comes to dealing with this type of emotion?
I feel like because I have so much stress and like anger towards her built up, I can release it all when I'm working out.
Yeah.
And it's a big stress reliever for me,
Mm-hmm.
and it makes me feel better about myself and everything in general after it's finished.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome. It's like I said, it seems to me that you are aware of where your stress is coming from, and you have in some ways found different escapes on how to release all this negative energy that's around you. So we'll go back to the careers class.
Yeah.
Okay, so for the careers class, do you feel like a lot of people in your classroom are having the same type of struggle? Because I understand nowadays the way the world is, it's kind of like education, work, like
that's it.
family, like you know what I mean? Like it's so like step by step.
Yeah.
And you're caught in the middle of like not knowing what your next step is.
Because like going from high school and then straight to college of what you want to be, I feel like it happens too fast.
Yeah.
And I feel like we should have more time because I don't know what I want to be. I have ideas.
Okay.
But
so what would those ideas be?
A criminal lawyer. And yeah, just a lawyer in general.
Yeah.
That's what I want to. Or my other dream is to be a model, but I don't think that will happen.
You never know.
Anything to do, stupid. I kind of want to be an astronaut. I know it's kind of broad to say, but I'm interested in Earth and the space and stuff.
That's interesting.
I don't like the other science part, but I like the
schoolwork science part.
Yeah.
Yeah. Science was never my strong suit. But so it seems that you, even though may feel a little pressured to what's to come in your future, that you do have some type of idea.
Yeah. I just feel like my mind changes so often.
Yeah.
So I don't really know for sure what I want to be.
You haven't figured out that one thing that you're really driven to or passionate about. Okay. So just to summarize everything so far, just to make sure that I'm right on track with you. So you feel a lot of stress coming from things with school, those being peer pressure from friends, pressure from going far in life and knowing what the next step is.
Homework. All the homework.
All of the homework when it comes to what your teachers are assigning you and not necessarily grasping everything that's being thrown at you education-wise. So that's causing a lot of stress and a lot of anxiety.
Yeah.
And then so at home life, main source of stress just coming from your mother, her drinking and how it's affecting you and your family. It's just negative energy.
Yeah.
All this anxiety, do you think it's affecting you in a negative way?
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think is being affected?
My sleeping.
Oh, you're sleeping.
My sleeping pattern. Yeah, it's very hard for me to fall asleep now. I've tried melatonin.
Okay.
That worked, but I don't want to stay on that, so I get off track. I don't want to. I tried other things too. They help, but I don't want to keep having to take them every single night because it's not good.
Yeah.
And I wake up very easily, so I've tried earplugs.
Okay.
And those have worked, so that's helping me sleep a bit better.
It's just the falling asleep. That's the hard part.
And I feel sick, and I feel like it's like someone's sitting on my chest.
Okay, so a lot of anxiety up in your chest area.
Butterflies in my stomach for no reason. Well, like there is a reason, but
yeah, but I understand like it's not nothing's happening right then in the moment. It's just day-to-day stuff. So what I'm hearing is that there are methods to maybe help you fall asleep sooner and in a better way, but you're not wanting to be reliant on certain things. Is that correct?
Pills, yeah.
Okay, so pills. So yeah, sorry, I wasn't familiar with melatonin. So what is melatonin exactly?
It's to get your sleeping pattern back on track. It's usually used for jet lag.
Okay.
So it reschedules, because you're supposed to get 12 hours sleep.
Okay.
And for me not having sleep, a good amount of sleep every single night, it adds up. Okay. So by me taking that for a week or two, I can't have caffeine. And then it sets me to have a good night's sleep the whole night, and then it just sets me back on to my regular sleeping pattern.
Okay, so what I'm hearing is that this specific melatonin pill, it's more so just to get your sleeping pattern back on track. Yeah. But in your case, staying on track, that's the problem.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, like you said, you have the earplugs, which seem to be working to an extent. It's just a matter of falling asleep. That's the problem.
Yeah. And melatonin also helps you fall asleep faster.
Oh, does
so that works?
Okay, so that works in that way. Yeah. It's unfortunate that there isn't some miracle thing that you can take that doesn't affect you in negative ways. Well, that's awesome that you're not being drawn into the easy way out by just taking this melatonin, because you understand that doing it in a prolonged time frame, it's damaging to you and your health. Mm-hmm. So that's good. That's a good decision that you're making. So when it comes to sleeping, I would just say that you're trying new things, which is great. I would continue maybe trying different things that are going to help you fall asleep faster. Maybe you said you enjoy reading. Maybe opening up a book and reading until you fall asleep. Do you think that would be maybe something that would be a good idea?
I haven't tried, but I should. Yeah.
Yeah, just because it's something you enjoy, right? Yeah. So you get in the mindset of the book.
I tried listening to, if I don't have my earplugs in, I try falling asleep to music.
Okay.
And by me focusing on the lyrics, that helps my mind get off of all of my anxiety and stress.
Okay.
So that works. But I also need the earplugs, so it's kind of hard to do both.
Yeah. Well, that's good at least that you have that option, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, so just to summarize, just a recap from everything. So there's lots of stress, which is starting to cause anxiety for you in different areas. Like I said before, it seems that you've got a good grasp on everything that's happening to you, and you understand where the stress is coming from, and it looks like to me that you're taking the right steps forward in all of the different departments. When it comes to your career, you, even though feel a little pressured, you're still exploring what you want to do. With the peer pressure, you've talked to your best friend, which is awesome. You've You've expressed that there are certain things that you are okay with doing, what you're not okay with doing. So you're sticking up for yourself. And then when it comes to your home life, there there's a lot of stress, but you're finding ways to kind of take your mind off of it because, like I said, there are things you can change and the things that you can't change.
Yeah, exactly.
So, are you happy with the progress that you're making now that you're kind of bouncing things off
Yes.
of me? Do you kind of
Yeah.
kind of understand that you are on the right track?
Yeah.
Yeah? Okay, so our session's nearing the end, so I feel like we're leaving off at a good note. Is there any last minute things you would like to talk about?
I don't think so.
No? You feel comfortable with what's been going on?
Yeah.
Okay, so what I would love to do is we'll just end this right now, and I just want you to know that I would be more than happy to have you come back anytime if while you're exiting the reception desk, if you're wanting to book another appointment or you're wanting to go home and think about it, maybe call later whenever you want to, whether it be tomorrow or a month from now, a year from now, like if you ever feel the need to come back. Just want you to know that I feel the path you're on, you're doing the things to get you at a more comfortable state. So be proud in knowing that you're making good decisions when it comes to your stress and your anxiety. So you have a couple new things that you're going to try when it comes to you're going to go and actually try and hang out with the new friends, and you're going to try reading before you go to bed and doing more of the positive energy activities. So you're going to try a couple of those and see how they work.
Yes.
Okay, so it was really nice meeting you, Jaden. I loved having you. So if you want to just come out the door, I'll follow you out because I'm going somewhere. And yeah, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
You're welcome.